We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch? You want to switch?
No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down.
I could do this all day.
If you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Maximum effort.
How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an animal.
HR. Is HR.
Somebody call HR down here.
That man is playing Galaga.
Welcome to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and the RZA, the Drizza, sticking sharp things in your ass like
Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang.
I like how Brandon followed that up, just Wu-Tang. Cool. Thanks for that period, Brandon. We needed that.
If you don't know, now you know. all the rap things.
Hey, I just want to let you know the Wu-Tang Clan ain't nothing to fuck with.
Not at all. Not at all.
Not at all. Okay, so yeah, here we are, and it seems like every week we're dropping one. Damn, that sucks. But like last week, Brandon wasn't here because he died, and now he's back. And this week, Naru is not here.
Praise be to Ra's al Ghul.
The Lazarus Pit.
Lazarus Pit. Oh, yeah.
What up, fam?
Brandon came back all fucked up.
Smelling like all sorts of pits of Lazarus.
Dude, okay, so you guys don't watch Arrow, do you?
No.
Not anymore.
Fuck. What's her face? Arsenal went into the Lazarus Pit.
Oh, yeah.
Or Speedy, whatever you want to call her.
Yeah.
Now she came back all fucking assassined out.
Yeah.
Everybody trying to be Red Hood, but ain't nobody trying to be Red Hood. Everybody want to be Red Hood, but don't nobody want to be Red Hood.
Dude, Young Justice, they're bringing Red Hood in there.
Oh, yeah?
Well, in season 2, they showed that he existed or whatever. Like they like went to his grave or whatever in season 2.
Yep. And now he is working with Ra's al Ghul.
Well, that's tight. Does he look cool, or is the animation still shitty?
I mean, he's literally in it like that long. I was watching it, and they went to visit Ra's al Ghul, and you see a figure in red come up, and he goes, "So that's Dick Grayson," and he was like, "So your memory's coming back," and then it cuts, but it was like he's wearing a red mask, it's the Red Hood, like.
Yeah, but it's not like the Arkham Knight or whatever Red Hood, where it's like he literally was wearing a red hoodie.
No.
Okay.
It's different, but yeah, it's definitely. At least that's my theory. Is it's Red Hood, because it was just like, oh, that's Dick Grayson. He's like, oh, your memory's come back, or it's coming back.
Yeah.
So, obviously, he knows him, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, Naru isn't here this week because Naru is a new uncle. So he took time out to go visit with his nephew and or niece. We don't know. I thought you found out way early.
No, dude.
Maybe they wanted a surprise.
Anyway, either it has parts or it doesn't, Rue. So you're an uncle either way. So congrats.
Yay.
So yeah, guys, what have you guys been up to? Tank.
Just chilling, man. Finishing up this D&D table. Looks super dope. I'll get pictures of that up.
I second that.
Yeah, so it's stained and like put together, and it looks pretty sweet. So I'll put up pictures this weekend after my players get to see it. None of them have seen the finished product, so but yeah,
Would you say it's Illmatic?
What's that?
Would you say it's Illmatic?
Illmatic? Sure.
It's another rap thing.
I know some, but these you guys are so
It's pretty trill. It took a ride to Trillville.
Tribbles? I know what a tribble is.
Trillville?
Oh no, yeah, that's
Cereal.
Yeah. So Sword Art Online Alicization is still dope.
Is that what that word is?
Yeah. So
No,
that's
I was like, A, kind of like Tokyo Ghoul season 3 or 2 or whatever. It's just A.
right. Yeah, yeah. It's just one of when you read it, you just kind of like breeze past it in your mind. You're like, okay, whatever. I know what it is. Yeah,
Something wrong with it.
Alicization. It's because it's like this whole like Alice in Wonderland, through the rabbit hole kind of thing. But yeah, that show is dope. If you're not watching it, you should, because it's that whole Sword Art Online. I'll talk about it every week because it's the best. But yeah, other than that, man, just chilling, reading D&D. Until
it hits the midway, like middle of the season episode, and it turns to shit like every other season.
As long as they follow the light novels, it won't do that. As long as they just stay on track, which
I have no faith. I'm just gonna wait until it's over and then I'll like go watch it or something, because no faith after the other 2 seasons. It's like, you know what? Pixie dust. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it's dope. As Brandon dies at the bottom of my screen.
There you go.
Well, Brandon, before you die, tell us what you've been up to this week.
I started school. That's
fucking
really,
nerd.
that's why I was actually gone last week. I started school, and it's like a full season class, full semester class put into half a semester. So, like, I already had my first like test, like on Sunday is when it was. Like, it's not even fucking school days anymore. It's just like random days.
Jeez.
So, my schedule is super shit, and I don't sleep. But nerd-wise, so Xbox has, I don't know what the membership thing is, but it's where you can like get certain games for free and stuff. They were doing a free trial of that for 2 weeks. And if you have that, you can get a free trial of PUBG. So I was like, oh, I'll double dip these free trials, and in my 2-week free trial, I'll get the free trial of PUBG. So I tried that. Hardest fucking game I've ever played in my life. I hate it so much. It is the worst. But also I sat there and tried to like I got home at like 8:30ish, and we film at night. So I tried to play before we filmed. And it's really difficult to like try to get a game in, just because. So how it's set up is it's like this. First you have to like get into a lobby like most like online games, and wait for the lobby to build up large enough. And it's like 80 something people or fucking 90 people in a lobby or something. And then you get dropped into this island, which is a giant, huge map with like multiple cities and stuff. And you're just in a plane, and you just jump out and parachute in wherever you want. But you don't start with any equipment or anything. So it's kind of like MOBAs, I guess, where everybody kind of starts at the same level. And you have to like break into houses and buildings and stuff to get your equipment like while the game is going. But then you just randomly run into other people trying to steal shit. And then they all know how to play the game. So then they shoot you. There's no respawns. You're just like dead. Like you just lose the game. And then you got to like go back to the main menu and then wait in a lobby again to get back into a game to go do it all again. So it takes like so much time to just die immediately. And I don't know how people get good at the game. I've killed maybe 3 people.
It's the
like out of like multiple games, I've killed 3 people.
It's the predecessor to Fortnite, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like kind of what they like kind of invented, I think, that play style. And Fortnite just uses that style, but they like do some other stuff. And it's more like childish, I guess. It has like more of a cartoony spin and stuff.
Right. This is a little more realistic.
Yeah, but it's so fucking hard, dude. Like, I want to be good at it so bad to just be able to like play it and be like, oh yeah, I killed, like got some numbers, like that's cool. But it's so fun. Like the idea is so cool to be like, oh, you all start at nothing, you have to go find all the shit, you gotta do stuff. But like it is, I don't know how you get good at it, because there's no like offline mode. There's not even tutorials or anything. It's literally just like get in, go straight into the fucking game, get shot immediately, wait 30 minutes for you to like start another game.
So this will make you feel good, Brandon. So that's the adult version, right? Like that's so I hear that it's got more realistic, like
graphics a little more realistic.
Everything's a little
more realistic.
Yeah, the physics and stuff like that. So your nieces have been playing Fortnite behind their mom's back,
Nice.
and Madeline keeps winning.
That's awesome.
And Jocelyn, her explanation when we got on to her for playing that, but I didn't care that they were playing the game. I just don't want them playing video games behind people.
Or doing anything like behind your back, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So I was like, well, you can't be doing that. And her explanation or her excuse was, well, I just scavenge things. I don't kill anyone. I just go steal.
That's the thing in the game. In that game, there's like a building aspect to it too. So I don't think you actually have to like kill people. Like you could like go in and just like build fortresses basically and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where in this game you don't do that. It's literally just like a one versus all, like go in and try to shoot somebody. And then I was like, oh, there's a team option, and you choose the team. You don't like respawn. You're jumping out of a fucking airplane. So like people are just jumping out random times and stuff. And I'm like in this giant map. And I'm like, how are you supposed to be a team when everybody's just jumping out random?
You have to have a pre-built team to do that. You can't just
Yeah, it was like a load a team. And then it's like basically the same. There's just 3 people on the map that you don't kill.
Didn't we try to play Fortnite together, Tank?
We talked about it. I don't know if we ever actually did. Fortnite's
Well,
hard.
yeah. And that's
PUBG is hard.
I know.
I think
I've only tried twice, but still.
I'm not good at shooters. I'm just not.
Yeah. I'm not. After Jason and I played whatever the fuck game we played, I got like decent at shooters.
Yeah.
But this is just like, it's very different from other shooters.
Right.
In that like you don't hold down
Ghost
the
Recon?
Yeah. You don't like hold down the button to like aim and then let go to stop aiming. You like tap it and then it aims. And then
Yeah. Type
you
it.
look around, you tap it and then it on it, and it's just different.
Yeah.
Like difficult. The only time I kill people is when I get a fucking shotgun. I just run up on them. The only 3 people I've killed is because I found a shotgun. I was like, well, I'll just run as fast as I can, just run up on them.
Yeah, I enjoy Ghost Recon much more than like other shooters because it's just like thought out and we can plan everything. But
Which this one I feel like if you have a legit team, you can, because you're going to this like same.
Right,
They could be like, oh, we're always gonna jump off into this city. And when we get to this city, we'll go to these buildings, and then we'll start taking down other teams by doing like X, Y, Z and stuff like that. But like, just running out there, I'm like, man, these kids are like, I barely see them, and I'm like, oh, let me get my gun. I'll like switch my gun. They've murdered me by then. Like jumping around, like headshots, and I'm like, how do you even see? How do you even see? I don't get it. Yeah, big ass TV. I don't see anything.
so this week, what have I done? Not much. Like I've been catching up on Young Justice, obviously. I've been catching up on Titans, and I started watching Dexter. I've never watched that.
Great, right?
It's great, but it's also fucking dangerous.
Fucked up. I started it once. That show's just fucked up.
So good.
That show, I'm not trying to get off track or anything, but similar to the show You. I don't know if I told you guys about this.
Oh yeah.
But like, you just fall in love with like the bad guy. And you're like, oh, dude, why are you fucking doing that? Oh my god, you're gonna get caught. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait. You take a step back. You're like, wait, you're fucking following people around.
Yeah.
Stealing shit from girls' apartments. Like, that's not cool. But also, like, same as Dexter. Like, he's killing people. But like,
Yeah, but those people are bad people. So
the people that the guy in You is following are bad fucking people. So they're
yeah,
the
I'm okay with that. Shit. I mean, I've been playing the shit out of Pokemon Go. And playing that PvP player.
It's pretty dope.
I finally got a Ditto and like cleared off like two of my
See,
my
I don't know how to catch a Ditto.
dude. All right, so you gotta catch the
Everything.
shitty Pokemon.
Everything?
So it's like Rattata or Pidgey or
Gloopin. Like mine was a Gloopin or Gulpin.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Zigzagoon I think can be one.
yeah.
Fuck, all the
But
shitty ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like just stopped catching like good Pokemon basically and only tried to catch like there's a list online.
Yeah.
You can look at it and it says like these are ones that spawn as them.
Fuck.
Basically like when it's one of these, and they don't have super high CP, but somehow break out of every fucking ball, it's probably a Ditto.
I do have a Breloom now.
Yeah.
One
That's
of the
hard to
best
deal with.
Yeah. Tank fought the Breloom. The thing is a fucking beast.
Tank never gave me his player code.
Oh shit, my bad.
Last time we were on the show.
Yeah, I've got a
So funny story. So real fast on that, 'cause before we get, I like probably a week ago, I was like, somebody asked me for my friend code, but I had no idea who asked me. Who asked me? All right, now I remember. I'm gonna
It was
do it.
me.
I'm gonna do it right now while we're on the
I had to add like random people so I could finish like a.
show. Yeah.
recent-
3 friends.
Yeah.
I've
Now
got
I have Evolve a Magikarp. And I'm like, sick. That's easy.
Yeah.
Okay. Magikarp, and the other one is
Swift.
Whalmer.
Swabloom.
Swablu or whatever.
Yeah. No,
So whaler, that's fine. I don't even care about getting a whale. Like unless
Tight, dude.
I'm just gonna put it on a gym. I don't care. Gyarados is fine, but he's not even like one of the top tier Pokemon right now. That Swablu or whatever
yeah.
that you need 400 to get its evolved, like
Pain.
whatever that is. That is one of the top tier PvP Pokemon right now.
Yeah, I don't even care.
I'm-
Regardless of what the tiers are, I'm always just gonna use like the ones I think are cool.
Yeah, I mean,
At the end of the day, I'm probably gonna use freaking Weevil because that's my shit.
Mhm.
Like Flareon because I've always liked Flareon. He's tight. But then all the ones I end up liking, like when you do look into their stats, they're all like super attack or super special attack, like nothing else. Like just glass cannons. I'm just gonna do glass cannon.
My Granbull is like that. I just randomly, he just happened to be one of my highest ones. I'll put him up against Jason. I just start going. All of a sudden, it's just like eating through his guys. But then he can only take like 4 hits.
Yeah. I think my Flareon was like that when I played Jason. Like my Flareon took someone out, and I was like, oh shit, like super easy.
Right.
But then once Jason got like one, like
Sturdy.
special attack or whatever on it, it was like, I fucking died.
Yeah.
And it was like not very effective, and he died.
It's still right. Yep.
yeah, I think Flareon is like high special attack and Granbull is like regular attack.
Okay.
But the Granbull, I will say, so far has been the hardest Pokemon I've fought. I was just like, the fuck, man?
It
Because
just
I had
eats through anything you put in front of it.
Dragonite, Arcanine, and
Or the third one was.
I can't remember the third one. Maybe Heracross. I can't remember, but like Granbull is just like eating through them.
Oh man, it was
Fucking kidding.
just disgusting.
Yeah, so I've been playing Pokemon Go like a lot because now PvP is out, and I really want to keep up with that. Oh, this is what I was doing. I jumped into this weird fucking rabbit hole like yesterday or day before.
Methamphetamines.
What's up?
Methamphetamines?
Yeah.
Mushrooms are
Then
great.
when I was on methamphetamines, I realized, oh, The Crow was a cool movie. I think it was based on a graphic novel. So then I started doing research on the movie The Crow. Holy shit.
Conspiracy theories.
What's up?
All the Bruce Lee conspiracy theories start coming up.
Yeah, the Brandon Lee, Bruce Lee fucking.
Murders and all that.
Yeah, it was like in a Bruce Lee movie. Bruce Lee was killed in the movie the same way that Brandon Lee was killed in The Crow.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Bruce Lee got poisoned and all that stuff.
well, yeah, it wasn't even just that. It was like all the shit that's happened to the movie The Crow.
Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff.
Oh, all the stunt guys are getting like knocked out, all their bones broken, like
Yeah.
all this crazy stuff. The set getting destroyed. Like there's like a curse on the movie.
Yeah.
And there's a curse on every movie after that and TV show that they tried. And come to find out that the whole book was written because the author of the book, that was like his therapy, because he had never written a book or art before, but that was his therapy when his fiance was killed by a drunk driver. And the whole theory of The Crow is that he gets killed with his fiance and then a year later comes back to life to kill the people that killed him and his fiance. So like the whole now I'm like super into The Crow because all of this shit, like the author, that was just like his therapy, was drawing and writing this story about vengeance on the person that killed his fiance.
That's gnarly. I've heard some of those stories. It's pretty nuts.
Did he remarry?
No, he's at the comic book conventions alone. So.
I didn't know.
No,
It's pretty dramatic. Like your whole career now is based off of your just like how do you like it's like therapeutic to get it out, but then it's like how do you move on because it's literally your whole career.
Yeah,
That's the only thing you do.
That's what he's known for now.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, this work you did. And like just finding that shit out, I was like, damn, like I want to read the graphic novel so bad just because it's like not, oh, this is Civil War. Like, we're going to make these guys fight these guys, whatever. It's like this story of this guy's like super, super heartache. And he put it in a comic book. So now I definitely want to read that shit. But other than that, yeah, man, just Pokemon Go.
Has anyone been watching Punisher season 2 yet?
I have not.
I haven't seen.
Wait, our dad watched it?
He texts me and like hasn't talked to me in however long. Just because we like text every once in a while, and then we'll like call each other. The only thing he texted me was just like staying warm, and he said, "Are you camping or swimming or something like that?" And I was like, "No, dude, it's like it's like feels like -18 or something." And he was like, "You watching The Punisher?" I was like, "No, I have like this like testing, and I had a paper also due like on the same day." And I was like, "Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing this like all day." This was Sunday, I think. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm pretty busy too. Probably watch it all tonight." That was it. That was it. He didn't text me back after that.
Weird about like
he does that. He like won't talk to you or about something or whatever, and then just be like, "I watched all of The Punisher."
I watched everything.
It's great. Good conversations.
Yeah, that's weird. It is weird. Anyway, so yeah, the big news this week is Naru has become an uncle. So yeah. Woo!
Congrats again.
No, we're done. We're done. We congratulated him in a golf clap at the beginning. Okay, that's all Naru gets. Naru's brother, congratulations on becoming a dad, bud. Sleepless nights.
I don't know him at all.
Yeah, me either. So, all right. I think he does listen to the show, though.
Oh, well, congrats, dude.
So anyway, let's get down to the big topic for the night. And, oh, gosh, I know this is going to start so much shit. And I shouldn't have done it. But a couple days ago, my wife looked at me and she was reading something on Facebook. And she was like, "Hey, Jason, Star Wars or Star Trek?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Well, who did it better?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she was like, "Okay." So then I answered it, which I'll give my answer later. And she was like, "Okay, but which one would you want to live in?" I was like, "Oh, okay. That has to be a show topic because that's just clickbait all day." But it is a good thing, right? Like for people that are outside or, people
who go outside.
If you want to bring your significant other, right, into nerddom, like, do you take them to go see Star Wars? Do you take them to see Star Trek? Like, what do you do? But in this, what we're going to do is, who do we think did it better? Like, who created this universe better? So not the movies, not whose ratings are better. Personally, who do you think created a better universe? And then which one do you see yourself in?
So I have a funny. The way you set that up, I have a funny story about my wife. So my wife and I have been together since we were 16, and so years and years ago, this would have been which movie was it? Would have been probably
Empire Strikes Back.
Nemesis. Nice. Star Trek. I'm pretty sure it was Star Trek Nemesis in 2002. So I grew up watching all the movies with my dad. My dad's a huge Trekkie, so I grew up a Trekkie. I've seen all of both. I am a Trekkie. The girlfriend at the time wanted to come see Nemesis with us in theaters. So my dad told her, the only way you can see Nemesis with us is if you watch every single Star Trek movie before we go. My wife had never watched a single episode or a single movie of Star Trek, and she sat down with me, and we watched every single Star Trek movie that was out. That's like 8 or 9 movies. And then she went and saw Nemesis with us. And that's how I knew I was going to marry her, because she put up with – not only did she put up with Star Trek 1, which is tough, she put up with Star Trek 7 or 6, The Undiscovered Country, which is hard to watch. And then went and saw Star Trek with us in theaters. And it was – yeah. So I knew she was a keeper from then on.
Dude, you would not have married me. Your dad would have given me that ultimatum. I would have been like, bye, Felicia.
So, yeah.
A lot of fucking movies.
Yeah, dude.
And they're not all good. Only basically every other – like the even movies are good. The odd ones are –
it's
funny. If you look, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan, which is arguably the best Star Trek movie. And then Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home, which was freaking hilarious. Star Trek VI – you know what? That one may be Undiscovered Country, which would be the exception to the rule. But Star Trek 1, there's literally a like 20 or 25 minute scene. They're literally just flying over, like slowly flying over this like massive, like technological cloud that's just for 20 minutes. It's like the most boring scene in all of Star Trek.
And it's really just a model on some fucking string, like.
That's part of it. That's part of what they were doing. Is they were showing off like all the new computer tricks they could do, because this was what 7.
Yeah, you have to look at the date. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So, but yeah. So I'm a huge Trekkie. I've seen all the movies. I've seen all the new movies. I've watched all of Star Trek Next Generation, all of Star Trek Voyager. I've seen chunks of Deep Space Nine, chunks of the classic. I'm currently watching Star Trek Discovery, which season 2 started this week or last week, which is a very interesting, very different take on the Star Trek universe. So,
isn't Picard coming back?
He's supposed to be getting his own thing, which I haven't read a whole lot on because I'm actually not very excited for, from what little I've heard about it.
So your answer for both is Star Trek.
Yeah, I think Star Trek has
what? Just because you like Star Trek, like why?
I think there's a larger story for Star Trek, and then even just in Star Trek First Contact, it's one of the Next Generation movies. They go back in time, and Picard is explaining to the woman how in the future there is no money, there is no crime, there's like we live. It's almost a utopia. But on Earth, there's no money. Like you can replicate anything you need. So why do you need money? And there's the idea of you do things to better yourself and to better your world and the galaxy, and just the ideals that people try and live by is something that Gene Roddenberry very much believed in, and it's things that he wanted to see happen, in our world. And I love, and the fact that everything in Star Trek Classic, Gene Roddenberry hired scientists to come up with these ideas that would eventually become real things. The flip phone was done on Star Trek first, like touch screens.
A communicator.
But it's the little flip communicator.
Like yeah.
Right? Those are all things done in Star Trek that were way before its time, because it's supposed to be in the future, right? And it's things that we are constantly trying to make our way towards. And holodecks. That's all of that stripped away. Holodecks. Holodecks are dope.
So okay, so what would your role be? Like if you lived in that universe, what would you be doing? Same thing you do now?
I'd probably be not. I'd be like a I'd be a computer. I'd be either. See, I wouldn't really be a scientist. I'd be like a computer engineer, a tech engineer.
So you'd be like a red shirt.
Depends on what show we're talking about. I'd probably be like a gold shirt, and if we're talking like TNG under like LaForge, I'd be on like the engineering team.
Oh, engineering. Yeah. Okay.
But I'd be like on the engineering team, but I wouldn't be doing like the mechanical engineer. I'd be doing like the technical engineering with like, talking to, picking up the mouse like Scotty. Computer. Hello, computer. A little Star Trek 4 reference for you.
Okay.
So yeah, that's
when their holodeck breaks down, they'd be like, Tank. Come fix it.
Tank's response. Unplug
How do
it.
I get the fucking camera thing to work?
so yeah. And you get like Data, which is probably my favorite Star Trek character of all the characters. Data's probably my favorite. So
All right, B. We need a different answer. Go ahead.
I would definitely do Star Wars. That's what I said. I'd for sure do Star Wars. And I think, to me, because I obviously haven't seen like every Star Trek and stuff, so it's probably super biased. So I really, whatever.
because we're always fair on this show.
Yeah, for sure. To me, the Star Wars not class system, but like roles that characters have are like somewhat deeper from my experience of what I know about Star Trek. It's like, it's like this group of people, Star Trek. It's like this group of people in a spaceship. They're doing all this stuff, like yada, yada, yada. And then like, oh, here's a new planet or a new species of people or a new blah, blah. And then Star Wars, in my opinion, kind of doesn't have as many like branch offs to try to explain. So they explain the same thing a little bit deeper. Like they just keep kind of building layers on the same thing instead of keep like introducing new things. So that's kind of why I like Star Wars a little bit better. And I'm also super biased because I've read so much like fan shit about it and like deeper meanings of stuff that now I'm like, I'm like also putting these meanings to things that might not exist at all when the movies were made or whatever. As fans were like, oh, did you notice that this lightsaber was this color and then it turned this color when they did this and then this person had and then I'm like, yep, that fucking makes sense. So I might be like also building it up like a lot more than it is. Or they might actually, I don't know. But I like that depth, like the depth of character and the depth of like class and whatever that they have, like different roles. So I think that's super cool. I would also want to live in this. I don't know. It's kind of rough in Star Wars, where like you were saying, like Star Trek is like very utopian. So it's like it would be a much easier life, and I would probably be like, if I did live there, I'd probably be some like fat ass like doing nothing, like literally doing nothing, like not walking ever. So I think I would still want to choose like Star Wars. Looking from like an outside perspective, once I was there, I'd probably be like, damn, I should have fucking chose Star Trek. So, like,
would be in Star Wars if you didn't have control of the Force.
Yeah, that's another thing. If I was in Star Wars, I'd want to be a gray Jedi.
Well, see, I could see Brandon as like a smuggler, though. Like,
dude, yeah, that would also be tight.
Okay,
like, it'd be a hard life, but like, or like the bounty hunter, like all the books where it's like the bounty hunter teams that are like going out to like complete these missions, like that stuff's like super cool to me too. So like if you had to be no force sensitivity or something, it'd probably be like, yeah, one of those smuggler teams or like bounty hunter teams that kind of like a Cowboy Bebop, in my opinion. It's like the same as Cowboy Bebop. Like being a smuggler or whatever, bounty hunter. So I would choose that, not being there. But once I'm there and I'm fucking starving because I can't find somebody in the galaxy, like then, you know, I'd probably be like, damn, I should have lived in that utopia. But I like the aesthetic and stuff of Star Wars more than like the clean cutness, I guess, of Star Trek. And I guess the question of if I had to introduce somebody to it, to either one, what I would like try to do to introduce them to, I'd probably choose Star Wars. Just because I feel like those, if you kind of watch them in order, like in terms of the order they came out,
Really, yeah.
Each trilogy kind of has its own little like love story that's plays on like different heartstrings, so people can really enjoy that kind of stuff. Whereas I don't pick up on that as much in the Star Trek, which, like I said, I haven't watched the super old ones, but like they're more of like each movie seems like a singular story that plays into a super large like continuum of someone's life. Whereas like Star Wars is like, you watch the first one and it starts the love story, and then the second one like really builds on it, and then the third one it's like, oh shit, all this crazy stuff's happening. And that's kind of how it like has those like ebbs and flows across movies. And I think we were talking about this with like the Harry Potter movies and the Fantastic Beasts, of how I think I was kind of explaining this, how I like it when movies are more so like it's not complete at all in the first, like when you watch one and you're like, well, now fuck, I gotta wait and like go see the other one and stuff like that. I think it like kind of builds to the depth I was talking about with like this series. But if you had to just go watch one in theaters, like go watch the first one in theaters and wait multiple years to like watch the next one, I don't know if I would like try to introduce someone to Star Wars that way. I'd be like, okay, well, we got to watch the first one, but we have all of them. So once we watch that one, then you can be like, okay, the love story continues. Here you go.
There's definitely a steeper learning curve to Star Trek. It's not something like Star Wars. Like you can just watch like the 8 movies. You know, this year will be like the 9 movies, which is still a lot of movies, but that's the 9 movies is just the classic Star Trek movies. That is not even touching the next generation movies. Yeah. Not to mention the 7 TV, multiple like 5+ seasons worth of TV series. So
and that's what I was saying. I'm kind of basing all my Star Trek stuff off of the new Star Trek movies.
Oh, see,
like all I've watched, the new ones that I think are rad. They're fucking awesome movies.
They are really good.
But like they're still like they're some of my best like favorite movies. Like I love those movies. They're really good. I go see them in theaters. I don't go to a lot of movies in theaters, but in that they're like those more singular stories that do have stuff that like tie them together and are like overarching stories. But it's like you can go see one, and then when you're done, you're like, that was a good movie. I finished a movie. That's fucking awesome. But like the love stories and stuff like that they're there, but it's not like the main story.
That's where the TV shows come into play when you start getting those, not so much in classic Star Trek, but in like Next Generation and Voyager, you get those long overarching stories that you're looking for. Those are more the TV shows.
Yeah.
The movies are like little standalone, like continuations of those stories a little bit.
So I'm going to jump in, and I'm going to be the fence sitter this time.
Hey.
I'm going to choose a little bit of both. All right. So for who did it better, I really think Star Wars did it better, because Star Wars came out and they've done so much with so little. Like you were saying, they have those. This year it will be 9
main
story movies. But before that, like when all the fan fiction and shit started going, they only had 3 movies. Yeah. Like people were developing all these fucking planets and like, because it let people's imaginations fly.
Sure.
So I choose Star Wars. I think they did it better because I love Star Trek, and I'll get to that in a second. But it was like Star Trek, he's visiting all these worlds, and as he visits the worlds, then that race is brought in, or that species is brought in to the fold or whatever, or they like give it to you and they explain where they're from and all this. But like, let's take the very first Star Wars where they go to the cantina, right? How many different aliens did you see in there? And he was like, oh yeah, they're from all over the galaxy. And it's like, okay, so all of these are different planets in the galaxy. Like everyone is different. So to me,
it's almost like it was pre-planned for Star Wars of like, Star Trek knew there were like multiple things, but they're like, oh, what's the next? Let's create a new species for the next one. Let's create a new.
Yeah.
So I think Star Wars did it better for the fans. Like they created this world and it was just kind of like, we don't know if we ever need to explain this, but then the fans kind of took over and they're just like, yep, that's canon. Yep, that's real. Good job for figuring that one out. Han shot first. So like all of these things spawned from this very, very small amount of stuff. And then, they add to it. And I mean, like, I didn't like 1 through 3, but there are people that did, and I love Star Trek. I love Star Trek more than I like Star Wars, but I think that Star Wars did it better just because they did so much with so little. Which one would I live in? I think that I would fit in Star Trek much better than Star Wars. Star Wars is too, like...
It's grungy, dude.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's grungy, dude. It's
Well,
rough.
not grungy. Like, I've been nasty, bro. But I'm saying, like, it's too... There's no order. Like, if there were order... Like, I would have to be a fucking stormtrooper, right? Or, like, Vader.
Well, there's, like, certain planets that have order.
Yeah,
The
but
planets that
those
you
aren't the fun
on
ones.
don't have order. But, like, if in the movies that you hate, they definitely go to planets that are, like,
Yeah.
super utopian stuff.
Like, where they have the fucking yellow
Speed car chase.
fighters. Where they have yellow, not TIE fighter.
Tattoo.
Speedsters, or whatever they're called.
Yeah, whatever those fighter jets are, the yellow ones that Anakin flies, that was a planet full of, like, military regime and stuff like that. But I just, like, those planets are boring and I wouldn't want to live there. So I would definitely see myself, and yes, I jumped in with new Star Trek, so I do, like, J.J. Abrams shit.
Yeah.
Like that Captain Kirk, it's your boy, okay?
I'm a Chris Pine fan, but I do have a special place in my heart for William Shatner. So.
Oh, I love William Shatner. Are you kidding me? The dude's awesome. Like, I went back and watched the original because of the new J.J. Abrams movies.
Yeah.
So I do love William Shatner as Captain Kirk, but I'm saying the new Captain Kirk, like,
yeah,
I love it. Like, I would totally love to lead a ship like that.
Sure.
Like, that would be awesome. Or Sulu.
New Sulu is pretty dope. I will say.
Sulu is fucking awesome.
Yeah, New Sulu, and the actor they got to play him is incredible. Old Sulu is, it was kind of, especially at the beginning, he's the guy who flew the ship. Like,
Oh my.
Yeah. Oh my.
Oh my.
George Takei.
Do it again.
Oh my.
Oh, dude, that's so good, actually. Yeah.
That's so good,
The
man.
one who didn't fucking watch it. That's like the only thing I know about it.
That's awesome. Yeah, they made New Sulu way more badass than he ever was in the original series. So
He smoked a lot of pot in Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, he did.
It actually wasn't a movie at all. He was just tripping and like.
I would still say one of my favorite parts of the new series is where Sulu gets to be the captain of the ship.
Mm.
And he sits down. He's like, "This is Captain Sulu. Do not mess with me. Or do not try me," or something like that. And he's like, "I will send the missiles to your ship," or whatever.
Yeah.
He's just basically a badass.
Yeah, it's kind of a little foreshadowing because in the classic series, he does get his own ship down the road, does some pretty cool stuff and helps out. But yeah, I think it's the new stuff is good. My gripe with the new stuff is you have this opportunity to do whatever you want. You've completely altered the timeline, and you redo Khan for 2 because 3 was dope. 3 was.
What the fuck?
3 was cool. Like, you did your own thing. I liked the new character. We did some different stuff. But yeah, I mean, come on, man, do something different.
I liked Khan. Okay, I thought he was dope.
Go watch Star Trek 2 and watch the real Khan.
No thanks. So
He tests me, and I shall have him.
I went and watched the BBC show and saw the real Khan. What is the show that Cumber Snatch is on?
Yeah, Sherlock.
Yeah, Sherlock. I watched Sherlock. It's like a mix. It's a mix of The Hobbit and The Wrath of Khan all together. Fucking sick.
Yeah, dude. So I think that Star Wars created the universe better, but I think I would personally fit into Star Trek much better than Star Wars. Because Star Wars, I'd just be the bad guy or on a boring planet, and I don't like that. So
I wouldn't survive in Star Wars. That's all there is to it. Like I'm in the process now of like automating my house. Like I'm basically like I have like Alexas all over the house. I have smart switches, and like I'm almost to the point where I can just say good night, and every light in my house will turn off for me. So like that's the level, like that's the direction I'm heading. I need everything like touchscreen. I need all of it like smart devices. I need control everything from my phone. I'm definitely need to be in Star Trek.
yeah, you do.
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm not that bad. I just think that having the Enterprise would be a badass fucking way to get going. Although I think the Millennium Falcon would be badass too. So, fuck.
Yes.
I don't know. Brandon, do you just want to create a smuggling team?
Yeah, dude.
Star Wars?
It'd be so fun. You can pilot the ship, dude. I don't care.
Yeah, Brandon doesn't give a shit.
I love like Ocean's 11 so much. I just want to be Star Wars Ocean's 11, dude. That'd be fucking sick.
Look at Brandon's hat. Tell me he's not part of a smuggling team in Star Wars right now. Look at him. He looks like a fucking Star Wars character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Playing jazz, the jazz flute. I was doing that before.
For Burgundy was.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm on the fence. Shit, I really don't know which one I would live in now. If Brandon and I are talking about taking the old Falcon out, I don't know.
Falcon.
But if Tank is saying that I could command the USS Enterprise and he doesn't give a shit, I really don't know.
Dude, I don't want to be in charge of shit. Just
as long as he can set up the Wi-Fi and surround system in it.
like,
all right.
I want to do holodecks so bad. Like, imagine being John Wick, being able to play through John Wick as John Wick and like wreck shit, but then you don't have to actually worry about getting killed.
You take all the fun out of the job.
I don't know. No. If you tell me the stove is hot, I don't need to touch it to know that it's hot. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, what if the block is hot?
What if the what?
It's another rap album.
Oh.
Tank.
12-year-old Lil Wayne rap album. The block is hot. It's where the term bling bling came from.
Blang blang. Every time I come around, I say they blang blang.
It's where bling came from. So
Truth.
you're welcome, world.
Hot boy.
The block is hot. The hot bling.
One of the original Hot Boys. Anyway. All right, guys.
Rap knowledge. We should rap caviar, dude.
All right, guys. So that's going to wrap it up this week. I know that we left a lot of loose ends. So leave a comment. Let us know who did it better, Star Wars or Star Trek. And yeah, I guess we might have polls up this week saying who did it better, Star Wars or Star Trek. Let us know. So
J.J. Abrams or J.J. Abrams?
JJ. Yeah.
That's
fuck.
funny.
Wasn't there another actor that was in both?
Yeah.
Star Wars has fucking
Shaun of the Dead guy.
Oh, Simon Pegg.
Yes. He was in both.
Who's in Star Wars?
He is the guy who's like, that will be 1/4.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that was Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
He's in that suit.
He was in both.
That's awesome.
Okay. So yeah, Tank, tell them where to find you.
Yeah, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. Thank you for tuning in and vote Star Trek.
All right, B. I'll actually go because we're gonna let Brandon take time.
Yeah, take a second.
Yeah. So you guys can find me Houdini0333 all over, actually just on Instagram and Twitter. So yeah, find me there. And I really don't give a shit who you vote for this week. Brandon.
Usually Jason always wins these things because he's so passionate about like pushing whatever he tries. And we're all like, oh shit, I forgot it was going. So yeah, for sure vote Star Wars because it is the best. However, to help everybody out, I created a new account on Trek Passions, which really connects you with other things. And it helps you find that sci-fi lover you're looking for. So, find me on there, B Miller 425.
Very fitting.
Yeah, it's fitting for the episode, so I figured
that's good.
Throw that one out there. I didn't choose Trek, but whatever. They have more dating sites in the utopian world.
Find that sci-fi lover you're looking for.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Trek passions. Trek
So we are now in season 3, Brandon. I just want to let you know that every episode you've been on, you've come up with a new online dating website. How sad is that for the world we live in?
I told you guys when I did it the first time as a random off-the-wall joke that it's so sad that I could probably do it forever. And I'm still going. Everybody is like, no, man, no, whatever. I told you, the world is a tragic place. The internet rules all.
All right. Well, hey, you guys can find us on iTunes, YouTube, and Facebook at The Nerds From Work. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Nerds From Work. You can find us on our website, TheNerdsFromWork.com, or just go to patreon.com/TheNerdsFromWork and support our drinking habits.
Hey, cheers. One more drink.
Yeah, everybody drink. Support our drinking habits. You can do that cheaper than buying, I don't know, a bean burrito nowadays from Taco Bell. Those things are $1.19. So,
$1.79, dude.
what?
That's
Or what? $1.79?
Yeah.
Dude, fuck your Taco Bell. So yeah, guys, follow us, comment, like, subscribe, and let us know who did it better, Star Wars or Star Trek. Hey, until next week, from all of us here at the workplace, peace.